Yes, you guys, we get our first 3 points in this year's Champions League. As I was saying in the match preview, we needed to respect Lille. In their game against Ajax, they gave Ajax the game, and on another day, if they were more clinical, they could have got something from that game. They showed today that we had to be competitive, we had to be physical. And what I was really impressed by, when you consider that we have a lot of young guys in this team, these guys rose to the challenge, these guys rose to the physicality, and these guys were ready to fight. And honestly, it was a good win, a great win in fact. And in today's match review, I'm going to be talking about Reece. I'll be talking about the back three. I'll be talking about guys like Mason Mount, our defense. There's so much to talk about from today's game. There's so much in fact that I'm not going to be doing any tactical segment. I'm going to be doing the tactical segment for tomorrow's talking points video because this game was constantly evolving from a tactical point of view. Like honestly, every 15-20 minutes, Lille were countering us, we were countering Lille. It kept going on and it kept going on. And I think what really helped us in the end was Okone getting injured. As I was saying, this guy's a very good player. And I think that once he went off, it started to affect how Lille were able to create their attacks. Now, a quick plug's out the way, you guys. If you like today's video, do not forget to hit the like button. Help me get over 1,500 likes for today's video. And of course, if you have not downloaded the OneFootball app, what are you waiting for? Honestly, it's so useful to have for every match day. So much stats, information. The beautiful thing is you get it so quick, so easy, so convenient. What are you guys waiting for? If you haven't got it, you'll find it in the link in the description below. Now, to get into things, I think what really surprised us all was us using a back three system. Now, it was a great surprise to see Reece James in the team. I'll speak about his performance briefly later on. But I think with the 3-4-3, we definitely saw a lot of pros and cons, and honestly for the talking points video tomorrow, so much to talk about tactically, so much. You guys definitely need to watch tomorrow's video. But I would say that using the wing-back system and the back three gave us an advantage for about maybe 60% of the game. When the system worked, Lille were not able to press us effectively. We were able to bypass their press, start attacks down the flanks, and limit Lille's threat in the wide areas. But when the 3-4-3 wasn't working, due to Lille changing their tactical game plan as the game was evolving, it meant that our wingbacks became isolated at times. It meant that our midfield became quite isolated too because the game was so stretched that these guys couldn't really find any passing options near them. And when it didn't work, it meant that the front three weren't able to get on the ball as much. Looking at the game, I think Frank understood this. I think that Frank wanted to use the 3-4-3 as a starting tactic that would just help us get through the game. And as the game evolved in the second half, Lampard had all the tactical possibilities on the bench. He had a Hudson-Odoi where, we had a guy that could get past his man and create space for the team. We had Cover on the bench who would be the option to be an extra man in midfield, helping us control the game even more. And we even had Mitchie in case Tammy wasn't on fire tonight. And I think that these are very good solutions that Lampard has. We all understand that Lampard is a manager that likes to adapt to the team. But one thing that I really want to give him credit for is that he's very smart and intelligent. He understands that, listen, the team right now isn't in his 100% image right now. But instead of ostracizing players, creating negativity within the group, he's decided, you know what, I need to rely on every single player in my squad. I'm going to use different systems to get the very best out of everyone in the team. And I think that with this approach, if we do get anything successful at the end of the season, it's going to come down to how Frank utilizes and manages the squads. Now that that's out the way, I'm guessing that you guys want to hear how Reece James did. And for me, I thought that Reece James looked quite decent. I'm not going to say spectacular. It was his first full game in the Champions League, very high level as well. And I think that what wasn't helping was the wing-back system. As I was explaining before, he didn't have too many passing options near him. Lille were able to overload us out wide in those areas. And it's natural that, if you've got three players closing you down, what are you really going to do? We saw glimpses of Reece James's, good brain and good thinking. Times when he was getting closed out wide, he had the technical ability to make runs infield, to find guys in the middle, or he had the ability to play switch balls to the opposite flank. Of course, he gave away a sloppy yellow, but the positive from that moment was that he was able to keep his concentration in the game. There was this pivotal tackle that he made in the first half when a Lille player was through on goal. He kept his discipline, and he still maintained his role. I think that once we see Reece in a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, when he has full attacking license, where he has a winger in front of him where he can do combinational plays with, then we'll really see what he can do. But in today's game, we saw glimpses of the guy's quality. We saw great crosses in the box, good combinational play, and moments of good defending as well. I was envisioning that Reece would put the cross in for Tammy Abraham to score. It didn't happen that way. Instead, Tammy scores the first goal of the game. There was a great pass by Tomori. Honestly, the guy turned into prime Iniesta. Incredible pass. I mean, it really was. It really was a great pass that completely split open the Lille defence. And Tammy with great improvisation, a great first touch. And I think in today's game, that was one aspect of Tammy's game which we constantly saw. Great moments of control under pressure. The finish as well. Honestly, it was a top goal and we deservedly took the lead. However, what happened afterwards, things got a bit frustrated. And I have to be honest with you guys, I was getting really angry in this game today. Not even because of the football, but because of the shit happening in my life. Imagine that I ordered my food, and for you guys that watch my live stream, you know what I'm talking about. I ordered my food, and I dropped half of it on the floor. Not only did I waste my money, but it means that I'm still hungry because I haven't eaten anything all day other than tea and an apple. And it means now that by the time I finish this match review, it's going to be round 12. And I'm going to be forced to eat beans on toast. Beans on toast. Bruv, not even Heinz beans. Like, why is this in my cupboards? I'll have to speak to the missus about that. Not even Heinz beans. It's been a peak long day. Thank God we got that win today. But that's the only thing that's going to get me through a painful night. And is it really a surprise that this incident happens when we concede our goal from, you guessed it, another set piece? Now, this is where I might criticise Lampard. I'm not too sure. I need to do more research into understanding how zonal's fully supposed to work. My thinking is, if I'm seeing Alonso, if I'm seeing Tomori, Zuma, Abraham, Reece, physicality and players that are good in the air, why are we using a zonal system? Now, I do have to say that BT Sport explained the goal we conceded amazingly well. You just give free runs to the opposition. If you're standing in a stationary position, you're going to miss out every single time because the opposition player has momentum. When you have momentum, it means you have more force. And it's no surprise why Osimhen, who I thought was really good today, got the equaliser. Now, I understand that people are going to blame Zuma or blame this, blame that. I know that whoever the ball's closest to, people love to blame them. It's not the case. It's zonal. It's a team collective effort. I think that we need different zonal strategies. Or maybe we abandon that to use a man-marking style because, honestly, every single time we deserve a clean sheet, we cost it for ourselves due to our poor set-piece defending. Still, though, as the first half ended, we were unlucky not to make it 2-1 right at the end. Jorginho with a great effort from out wide. And I have to say today, if we're using a two-man midfield, is Jorginho really the guy we want to use? I'm being serious, in today's game, I was thinking if Kova was playing alongside Kante, Kova's mobility, his press resistance, his ability to carry and drive the ball could have been really helpful in helping us create attacks. I think that Jorginho is the orchestrator. He sits behind people to allow the players to do their thing in front of him. And it's like, with two men in midfields, getting outmanned by Lille using their 4-4-2, with their midfield four moving more central and in field, creating a very compact shape. Naturally, it meant that it was going to be hard for our midfield. But if Kova did start that game, it could have been different. But anyway, it's all what ifs, whatever. We got the 3 points at the end of the day, and that's what really matters. Anyway, second half comes, and we start to take control of the game more, which I liked. Lille weren't forced into too many counter-attacks because we kept possession a bit better. I think it was a combination of, players getting more tired as the game went on, and managers making a lot of early substitutions to help affect the game. I think that when Hudson-Odoi came on, he was pivotal. Mason Mount, and here's the thing with Mason Mount. If he plays out wide on the left, he's not playing as a winger. He needs an Emerson. He needs that fullback to constantly get forward because Mason Mount creates the spaces for you to make those runs in behind. We know with Marcos Alonso, even though he was decent tonight, he doesn't have those same attacking instincts in which an Emerson would profit from that space. And personally, I'm hoping now that with Hudson back, we'll get to see Mason Mount playing more in the middle, which is his best position. But anyway, Callum came on and this guy looked hungry, he looked good. Honestly, I've been missing Callum Hudson-Odoi. That X factor we've been missing out on in our attack, he provides that. And even the way in which he created the winner right at the end, great play to, drag his man out wide, cut back inside, great cross to the far post. And this is where I give Willian credit. He kept his concentration, he was focused, he connected with the ball, and it was a great finish to win us the game. I need to say this, I understand that people still have reservations against Willian. Listen, I've said the same things as well, but we need to remember we're not in the 18-19 season anymore. It's the 19-20 season. We use a different system, different tactics. Willian's playing with different players. And most importantly, Willian's not getting forced to have to stay out wide on the right every single time. This is why he's looking better. So it's about time we start to open our eyes and give this guy a break. I like this game today because it showed that the players are able to find solutions within the game if things aren't currently going to their favour. I like the game because of the mentality of the players, As I'm stressing, playing with a lot of young players in a big occasion like a Champions League game, away to Lille, throughout the game you could see how fiery their fans were. They were constantly singing every single time. It's easy to doubt yourself and potentially lose a bit of confidence, but these guys didn't doubt themselves. They stuck in it, they maintained their game. If they got hit, they got straight back up and went straight back in to win that second ball. And that's what you want to see in such a young team. Honestly, you guys, this was a good win. And bring on Ajax. I cannot wait for that game. That game is going to be so fun and fluid and exciting. It's going to be a great test to see the current strength and limits of this team. But you guys, on that note, I'm going to wrap things up. We get the 3 points. That's what we came here to get. We got the job done. And now we come back home to prepare ourselves for the game this Sunday. You guys, I'm going to keep it moving. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. See you man in a bit.